let's start with Dodd-Frank. You said earlier this week that the Senate bill could be improved in the House once it gets out of the upper chamber. How would you like to see it improved?
Well, first we got to see what comes out of the Senate. I know Chairman Hensling, who I think you'll have on later, is in negotiation with Senator Crapo with regards to perhaps a manager's amendment that would include a lot of the bills that we're working on in the House that could be incorporated, bills that we've had huge bipartisan votes on. You know, in the last several months, we've had about 90 bills that we've passed in the House that we've broken some of the big bills up into small pieces and passed those small pieces. And there's probably 25 or 30 of those that have got some really large bipartisan votes that I think could be added to the bill and not hurt it. So in his negotiation with Senator Crapo and with the amendment process still going on in the Senate, we'll see what that bill looks like when it comes out of the Senate, and then we'll take a hard look at it and move from there.
Speaking of negotiations, trade talk heating up here in Washington. Gary Cohn out. Your reaction to that? Who would you like to see replace him? And what do you make of the president's proposal to raise tariffs on steel and aluminum industries?
Two-part question. Gary Cohn, I think, has done a fantastic job as the economic advisor for the president. He's really been on the job with regards to his relationships with Congress, with relationships to our leadership, to try and promote the president's economic policies. He was, was front and center with the tax cut bill. He's front and center with the health care bill that we were working on last summer. I think he's been a very trusted advisor to the president. Unfortunately, it seems he got crosswise with the president here with the tariffs, and they parted ways. But the president's done a good job of putting good people in the places around him. So I think whoever replaces Gary will do a fantastic job, and looking forward to see who that next person will be.
And your thoughts on the tariff debate?
Well, I think the key thing that I think haven't seen anybody even talk about yet is the fact that we've been in a trade war with China for a long, long time. So how do you solve that problem? They've been subsidizing industries, which is kind of reverse tariff, to undermine our industries here in this country. So it hurts our industries, it hurts the jobs that we have in this country, hurts our ability of our companies to be competitive. So how do you solve the problem? I think that the president is trying to figure this out. Is the tariff situation, what he's trying to put together right now, is that the solution? I don't know if that's the total answer. He seems to be indicating now that he's looking at other options, so we'll see how it develops.
Congressman, we've got under a minute left, but tell me about your bill that would, with data sharing, and how you would allow for companies to, if they have a breach, to have to report it.
Well, we think the breach needs to be reported immediately as soon as they ascertain what kind of information was breached, whether it was a personal data that was breached, and have the okay from law enforcement. Law enforcement sometimes wants to try and find the bad guys who got in, and so we need to make sure they can do their job. But once they give the company the thumbs up, they need to immediately report that so people can do the best they can to protect their information. Congressman
Luetkemeyer, do you want to be chairman of the Financial Services Committee?
It would be an honor to do that, but we got a lot of water under the bridge.
We'll leave it there.